This
like
conference will now
30 to
be
40 minutes.
recorded.
And first we'll go to the what is AEM, what are the top features of AEM. Okay, then I will walk you through the course content, that what we'll be covering as part of this training session, and then we'll be having the question answer session. Okay, so guys, before starting, I just want to know if some of you are already having hands-on on the EEM. Anyone is having aware about the EEM? Just respond on the chat. So Manpreet, Prabhat, okay, okay, fine. Okay, so as I mentioned that I have divided this course into two sections. So one is basic and advanced. So we'll be covering all the advanced feature which comes with EM 6.4. Okay. So before starting with the course content, I would like to just brief about the EM, that what EM is and why we should prefer EM instead of other available CMSs in the market. Okay. So whoever is not aware about the EM, so let me just share one document which I prepared for this session. So AEM is like a content management solution, okay, which provides or by which we can easily create the websites. Okay, that is a content management solution. And one more thing that we for this AEM, that it's part of the Adobe Marketing Cloud. Okay, in Adobe Marketing Cloud, we are having different tools like Analytics, Adobe Campaign, Adobe Target. There is Adobe Social as well. So what happens, if you want to create a integrated solution for your organization, then all these tools helps you make a digital experience. Okay, AEM is one of them. Okay, there is no such dependency that you have to use AEM with these tools, but independently you can create your website in AEM. But when you talk about when we think about the integrated solution, like a personalized solution, then we can easily interact with these Adobe tools and can come up with an integrated solution. Okay, so that's the benefit of an Adobe AEM, that it helps because it's a part of a marketing cloud. So you can easily create an integrated environment. Suppose you want to track the events, or you want to create some reports based on the user interaction, then there is an Adobe product that is an Adobe Analytics. Okay, so you can easily connect Adobe EM with Adobe Analytics using Adobe Launch. Okay, that is an again event tracker, which is a successor of Adobe DTM. So you can easily connect with those marketing cloud consoles. Okay, similarly, if you want to achieve the personalization, we are having Adobe Target. So we can easily connect Adobe EM with the Adobe Target. Okay, so that is one thing about the EM. And another thing that Adobe EM, the latest version is the 6.4. Okay, prior version it started from 5.6, and now we are having the latest version is 6.4. Service Pack 3 have been arrived for it for this 6.4. So there are many features which have been enhanced from the previous versions. Okay, so it was a day product, but then Adobe by it was in the classic mode only. You can author the pages only on the desktop devices, but now AEM have been evolved that it can be used on the touch based devices, and they have changed the interface from the classic UI to the touch UI. Okay, we'll go in the depth that what is the classic UI and what is the touch UI. Okay, so that is an overall of AEM, that what AEM is basically, as I previously mentioned, that mainly we use it to create the experiences. Okay, that's why Adobe name it as the experience, Adobe Experience Manager. We are creating or we are building the websites which are compatible for the mobile, which are compatible for the tablet in a one solution only. Okay, and using these Adobe Marketing Cloud things, we can create a personalized integrated solution with the help of AEM. Okay, so now let me just talk about the top features of Aaem which it provides. Okay, so when we talk about Aaem, it comes in form of a jar file. Okay, so the prerequisite to install the Aaem would all like the Java should be installed on your machine, and you should be using 8 GB of RAM. Okay, so there is nothing other prerequisite to start with AEM. You will be getting one license file and one jar file. You just need to extract that file. Okay, so let me just quickly show you that what comes with like what. So this is the jar file which you will be receiving. We'll see that how we can rename it and what are the different system run modes and what is the meaning of this port. So you'll be receiving one jar file and one license file. All you need to do is you need to just extract it, or you need to just double click on this jar file. It will take some time, 5 to 7 minutes, to extract all the things. Okay, all the repositories and everything inside the CRX quick start, and you will be presenting with this console. Okay, localhost 4502, and it is an on one. The thing is that to run AEM, you don't require any server to be installed physically on your system. AEM comes with an integrated servlet engine. Okay, that is an Apache Jetty web server. So you don't need to worry about to configure any web server on the top of AEM. It comes by default with AEM, that is an Apache Jetty. Okay, guys, can you go on mute if not having any query? Koniki. Koniki, can you please go on mute? Hello. Koniki, can you please go on mute? Yeah, thank you. Okay. Other thing is like how EM works. Actually, that like what is the topology of the environments when we talk about the EM? Okay, how really it works. Okay, so on my screen you can see one diagram is there. Let me just enlarge it. Okay, so in this diagram, you will see that suppose I'm an end user. So what I see on the website that some experience is getting generated. So what is behind that experience is like we will be having in AEM two instances. One is author and one is publish. Okay, so like what happens like if you want to change some content in the traditional website, what happens that you go to the HTML page. Suppose you need to change some image of your web page or some content on your web page in JSP or in other technologies, okay, which are not based on content management system. You will physically go to the file, you will edit the path of the file there, or you will change the text, you will upload the file again on web server, restart it, and then it will be available to the end user. In case of AEM, there are two different servers or two different instances, you can say. One is the author instance and one is a publish instance. So publish instance is the end facing instance, like public facing one, and author instance where you can author the content on the fly. Like if you want to change some image or if you want to change some text, you can go to the author instance, you can change the content or you can upload the image, you can author the page there, and you just need to publish it. Okay, so it will be instantly available for the end user. Between the end user and between the publish instance, we might have some dispatcher instance. So dispatcher is a module which can be configured on some servers, some web server. Basically, it used for the caching and the load balancing. We may have more than one publish instance as well. Like caching is important. Like if your website is having a huge traffic, Okay, you are having two publish instance and one author. So every time request will go to the publish instances. Okay, and it will take the HTML, or it will take the page from publish, it will directly hit the publish and then it will respond back. But if you are having a module like dispatcher, so the request will go to this dispatcher first. It will check internally in its cache whether the page requested page is there or not. If it finds, then the request will go back from the dispatcher itself. Otherwise, it will go to the publish, will take the page, will keep in the cache, and then will serve the page. This topology we'll try to create on our local system as well. We'll be having one author instance, we'll be having one publish instance, and we'll try to generate these things, like we'll be like configuring one dispatcher module, and then we'll see that how caching happens, how load balancing happens. Okay, so right now if I open, when I run my instance, it run in this mode. Okay, so one dialog will appear, it will say on localhost 4502. So this 4502 is the port number which I given in my instance name. Okay, we'll see about it, that how we can provide the names, different names, and what are the okay, so when you open it, this will open in this way. Okay, localhost 4502 and something like welcome or em start.html. Okay, let me just sign it out. So once you run that, once you double click on that jar file, it will take some time to extract the repository, or to extract the all the OSI bundles and everything. Okay, it will take first time 5 to 7 minutes, and then you will be presenting this screen very first time. Okay, what you have to do is you have to just provide your credential here. The default credential for the any Aaem instance would be admin. Now, once you present on this screen, there are two things. Like right now in 6.4, you will be landing to the touch UI page. Okay, this is my 6.4 instance, and this is my touch UI page. So there are many things, many consoles available in Aaem by which you can easily like track your application. Like if you want to manage your digital assets. Okay, what happens like in the traditional web application, if I'm having 100 of images, or if I'm having some audio files or some video files, I keep those files in some separate folders. I create different folders to keep those files. Okay, and then reference those files in my content, or in my HTML or JSP or whatever files we have. Okay, the management of those assets is a, it's bit typical in the like traditional applications, but in Aaem we are having a separate console to handle that scenario. Okay, like to organize my digital assets, I will be having a separate console, that is a dam admin. Okay, so like in touch UI, I will come to the touch UI and classic UI later on, but I'm just telling you about the like what are the features we have in Aaem. So there would be one like assets, or we call the dam admin in the classic UI, where you can keep all of your assets, you can organize those assets in a better way. Okay, so this is my touch UI console. When you first time admin you put on the login screen in 6.1 or in 5.6 instance, you will see this screen when you open, when you put the admin. I will tell you what is that screen. So this is a welcome screen. In 6.0 or in 5.6 version, when you type admin on the login screen, you will present this screen. And in 6.3, 6.2, 6.4 version, you will be presenting this screen. Okay, so these two screens are nothing but they are exactly the similar things. Only difference is that this welcome.html, this page or this UI is not responsive. Okay, if I like change the size of my browser, okay, and if I try to drag this page, okay, you will see that the consoles are not, or whatever the content I'm having on my page, it's not responsive. But in case of touch UI, okay, my content will be the responsive one. You can see here, like it will be responsive. So why they have come to this touch UI? The only reason was like if I'm having certain page, okay, let me just open one page, one website which comes by default with AEM 6.4. We call that as a V-Retail application. Okay, in prior version we were having one geometrics website, a support website, or like you can say that it will help you to create your like pages. You can take reference from those websites. This is my touch UI. I can author my page on my touch devices like the tablet. If I'm having that tablet, then I can easily author my page. So what authoring means? Okay, let me just open one page or one website which comes with this AEM. Okay, who are new in AEM, I will be telling you that what are these consoles and how we can open the pages and all. So for the time being, I'm just going to the like sites.html, and this is the default website which comes free retail. I'm just going to some page and opening it. Now you consider that we have created a website in AEM. Now I want to change some content on my page. Okay, so this is the default website which comes with 6.4. Similarly, you will get geometrics for 6.2, 6.1. Okay, suppose this is one of my banner, I want to change it. So rather than going to this HTML page, the associated resource for this page, what I can do in AEM, I will just click on the component which I have created in AEM. Okay, I will just open the dialog for that component and I will drag the image. Okay, nothing I have to change there in the code. I will just author this image. So this is the authoring, that what I am doing here, that I am just authoring the content. Okay, some out of box component is there. We will be creating our own components. Okay, so here you can author those components directly and you can publish the changes from here. Like we will be having some activation, some public like publishing mechanism in AEM by which we can publish the changes to the publish instances which are running or which are the end facing user facing URLs. Okay, we'll see that how duplication work exactly. Now, so that is one feature, like the authoring one, we call it as a content authoring in AEM. Like we are having one website and we want to author with the different content on the different pages. So we can go to those components, either out of box component or either the component which you have created in AEM. Okay. When we talk about the AEM development, the basic like the role in the AEM development, we can divide into the three parts. One is the content authoring, one is the development like component template, or the AEM developer role would be like development of the components, development of the templates, the creation of the services, integration with the different services. Okay, so these kind of things a developer will be doing. There might be a different role as well, like the content authors who would be responsible to author the content. Okay, normally a developer author the content as well. And then there is a one more side of AEM, that is a DevOps, where all the infrastructure of AEM, that what publish instance we have, how to configure those instances, and how to set up the dispatcher, and all those things will come under the DevOps thing. Okay, so let me just go back to one of my PPT. So this is overall structure of an author and publish. Right now, I just opened my instance in the authoring mode. Okay, you see here. The same way we can copy these two files, we can create one more folder, publish, and we can just change this port number and this author to publish. We'll see that how exactly we can do later on. Now, I have talked about the DAM. Okay, like we can have different, or we can organize our digital assets in a good manner. Like if I go to my DAM admin, I will go with the classic one only. In Classic, we call it as a DAM admin. All the consoles you will be getting from here. Like if you want to create the websites, you can go in the Classic, you can click on this one, you can create your page structure. We'll be using some multi-site management. Will like get to know that how to create the multi-site management or a website from the scratch or from the blueprint or from the live copy. Okay, those are different things. Like let me just go to this DAM admin. So if you see this structure, then you will find that like project specific, we can create the folders here and we can upload the images or we can upload the videos in a more classified manner. Okay, one of other feature of the DAM is like whenever you upload any asset, there are some out of box workflows which got triggered and it generates some metadata. So for every image, suppose this image I have uploaded, so we'll be having some features to add some metadata to my image. Okay, so how that metadata generate, we'll talk about that one as well, that there are certain workflows which got trigger, how we can create our own custom workflow or how we can update the existing workflows as well, which are responsible to create this metadata. Okay, so this is my classic UI only. In the touch UI as well, I can go and open the console. The same console I can open in the touch UI as well. Like if I go to the Eam start, that is my touch UI, I can simply go to the assets and the files. So this is again same thing. Like you see there are two consoles. One is this assets.html and second one is this is DAM admin. So both are same. Okay. Like here I'm also having all the images and all, but this is a more organized way. Like you can easily access the admin, like these images, or you can easily manipulate the images metadata in the touch UI devices. Okay, because if you open this page directly on your tablet, then it would be very hard to tap on these buttons on these navigation. But now they have reinvented it and they have created a touch UI enabled console for the devices as well. We'll go in the comparison that what is the classic UI first. In now 1 or 2 or 3 sessions we'll go with the classic UI only, so that we should be aware of that. If there is any migration project, then we should understand that what were the older consoles which were available in the 6.0 or 5.6 versions. Okay, and if we are really migrating the things from classic to touch. Okay, so TAM is one feature which we talked about. Let me just see. Okay. Okay, we'll talk about these things later on, like what are the classic and touch. So let me just quickly brief you about the course content. Okay, what things we'll be covering as part of this session. Okay, so I have created a course content. I have divided this course into the 2 sections. One is the basic one and one is the advanced one. Okay, so let me just walk you through that what we'll be covering in the basic and in the advanced. Some of you already worked on the EM, but if I like will be starting from the scratch. Like if anyone is not aware about anything in EM or very beginner in EM or doesn't know anything about EM, okay, so it will be covering all the stuffs starting from the basic. Okay, so like in the first day I have divided, like we'll be seeing that what is the EM, how we can install the author and publish instances. Okay, what is the technology stack of EM. Okay, there are a certain technology stack on which EM is based on, like Apache Sling, that is a web framework, okay, for mapping the resources. And on the top of JCR, we are having that Apache Sling framework. There is one content repository API that is in JCR, and there is one OSGI to keep all of your Java files inside the EM. Okay, Open Service Gateway Initiative. We'll talk about OSGI bundles, that how you can create your Java code in form of bundles and how to manage those through some Felix container and all. Okay, I will walk you through the EM consoles, that what are the different consoles which are available in the classic UI, and what are the replacement of those consoles in the touch UI as well. Okay, so these things we'll be covering in the first day. Then we'll go in the second day, we'll see that what are the different modes which are available inside an AEM. Again, we'll talk about something with classic UI and touch UI. We'll start with the component development first in the classic UI. We'll get to know that what are the different WCM modes available there, like the edit mode, the preview mode, or the disabled. What are the benefits of those modes? Okay, then we'll go to the Sling framework. Okay, first we'll create some component in the classic UI. Will not directly go to the technology stack because it is very difficult to understand those steps, those technologies without doing any practical work. So all the sessions, like first session would be a bit theoretical, for which I have created this PDF. Otherwise, every session would be the practical based only. Okay, there will not be any PPTs and all. I'll be walking you through the practicals only. Okay, there will be the documents for each day, but we'll be doing the practicals all the 30 days. Okay, so on the third day, when we create some component in the classic UI, I will walk you through that how Sling app actually works, what is the REST based. We call Sling as a REST based, how it really works inside the EM, what are the different configurations which are available in the Felix console. Okay, and how it resolve the files, how it resolve the resources, what are the selectors and all. Then on the classic UI, I will continue to the classic UI only. We'll see that how we can create the design dialogues. What are the different text types available in the classic UI? That is only for the migration purpose. Okay, we should be aware about these things. Then we'll see that how we can connect our EM components with the Fed front-end development, or like you say that if I'm having any component which is built in HTML, how I can get that exact look and feel inside the EM. Okay, that the term we use in EM, that is a handshake between EM and the front end dev. Okay, we'll see different things about the client library, that how we can use the client library inside the EM. What are the minification? What are the debugging? Okay, how we can debug the client libraries as well inside the EM page. Okay, embed dependencies. There are certain options with the client library. You will see that what is the exact difference between those, and what is the best practice to use embed, where we should use embed, where we should use the dependencies. Okay, we'll create some component, some accordion component with the multi-field. Okay, and we'll see that how we can integrate the third-party libraries as well inside the EM. There are some default ways and some different ways. We'll cover all the ways to integrate those libraries. Then we'll come to the packaging, that what is the package manager, how we can like transfer my code package from one environment to another environment, how to activate the page. Okay, if I'm having certain set of page like 100 pages, how to activate those pages in the bulk. There are different ways through the ACS Commons as well. We are having some packagers, we are having some workflows there as well by which we can activate the pages. I will cover some of the tools inside the ACS Commons as well. Okay, then we'll come to the touch UI part. Okay, we'll see that how we can easily migrate the classic UI components in the touch UI. What are the different resource types available there? We'll create some banner components. Okay, then we'll start creating. Once we are done this exercise till lab 8, we should be aware till this point that how to create the basic components inside in the touch UI, in the classic UI, in the CRXT itself. Okay, so Adobe EM comes with the default integrated environment, that is a CRXTE. Okay, but apart from that, let me just open that CRXT one. So if I go here and on the, let me just go on the welcome screen on the classic UI only. If I go down and click on the CRXT Lite, so this is the integrated development environment which Adobe EM provides. We can create the components templates inside this console as well. Okay, the other way to create your project structure or to create the website, The ideal way is to create those website inside the Eclipse. Okay, so I will walk you through that how to create the project inside the Eclipse, how to set up a plugin inside the Eclipse so that we can create an Aaem project. Okay, the latest archetype which is running is 15. I guess 16 is on the way. It will be coming very soon. So what are the different profiles available? What are the different plugins we are having for Maven, which transport the content from author, from my file system to author? We'll see all those stuffs. Okay. Then there are some syncing mechanism as well, like how you will be like syncing the content from your Aaem instance to the file system. Suppose you have a Bitbucket or you are having a Git, okay, that is in your file system. You want to commit some code. Then how to sync the content if you created some component inside the CRXT and you want to commit that code in some repository, then how you will be syncing that code to the file system? When I say the file system, your code might be in the Eclipse as well. Okay, so what are the different plugins are there? We'll go through that. We'll see about the OSGI bundle. When we'll deploy that code in my console, there are some bundles. Okay, as I mentioned, that code will be in form of bundles. So we'll go through the OSGI. We'll see that what is the bundle lifecycle and how it actually works. Then we'll go to the Sightly. Okay, in the classic UI, normally we use the JSP syntax, but nowadays Sightly has been renamed again as to STL, HTML templating language. So that is a tag-based language which we'll be using to create the rendering logic of a component inside the Aaem. Okay, different tags are there. We'll walk you through. The important one is a data slide template and data slide call. I will walk you through 8 to 10 different tags which are available in the Sightly. Okay, also the context objects. There are many context objects as well in the Sightly. Then before moving to the high, like to render the business logic inside the Aaem, we'll be having some APIs, that WCM use API. Nowadays we are not using it much, but in the migration or in some of the project still they are using the WCM use POSO classes. Okay, what these classes do, these classes are having some helper methods to render the logic of your component. I will walk you through that how you can create those classes inside the Eclipse and how you can communicate with the Sightly. We'll be creating some examples on the fly. We'll go to the JCR concept as well here. Okay, like how exactly what is the difference between the Sling and the JCR and how you can extract the node and how you can interact with the content inside the Aaem. Okay, with the different APIs, with the Sling API and with the JCR API. What is the concept of resource resolver? In which scenario we should use it? Okay, and if you want to manipulate any node inside the JCR or inside your repository, I will walk you through that how you can exactly perform the CRUD operations. Then we'll be creating some multi-field component in the touch UI. The dynamic multi-field will see that how we can create the model files in Java. Okay, to map the content from my multi-field. Okay, there would be some like terms would be there. We'll cover all those things. And then we'll create some 4-page website. Okay, which will be comprising all of the things which we have done like so far in the previous 14 sessions. We'll be creating one website having, I'm not having that one, let me just open if I'm having that. So this kind of website I will be creating till let me just open quickly. Okay, right now I do not have any component inside it, but there are a lot of component between this header and footer. So this is 4-page website. We will be covering this as part of our basic one only. Okay, so like we should by that point we will be able to create any website inside the Aaem. Okay, then we'll move to the advanced part of the Aaem. Okay, the very first topic which I will be taking, the sling models. Okay, we'll get to know that what are the sling models, what are the different configuration which are required. Okay, for the sling model is nothing but a successor of WCMU's POSO. To render the business logic of your components, we can use an inject based system, a notation based system, that is in sling models. I will walk you through that how you can create the components there using sling models. Then we'll go to the sling model exporter, that what are the features which we have in the sling model. That is an Jackson API. We'll see that how we can integrate inside the pom.xml, what dependency I would require there, and what are the benefits of having this sling model exporter. Okay, so might be we might get a situation or like where we need to send the data feed or send the page feed to some mobile website. Then these exporter help us to transport our page content to some different devices or different project. Okay, then we'll see that how to create the web services. Okay, like in the OSGI, we'll see that how we can create our own services which will be interacting to some third party. So to achieve the third party inside the EM, I'll be using some mock API, mockio.io. There is one website where we can create some JSON output, and we can interact with that uh, website to feel the like integration between AEM and the third party. Okay, like we can integrate the hybrids or we can integrate any third party solution. Definitely, I'll be getting the feed in form of JSON. So we should be aware of that. What are the APIs which are available inside the AEM? Like uh, there is one API that is a JSON API, which is a Google API to pass the JSON. Okay, so those kind of stuffs we'll be doing here. What are the different configurations and how we can create those configurations as well. Sling servlet, that is an important part if you are having any form based thing and you want to communicate with some third party. You are having some ajax based system and you want to instantly output something on your component without refreshing. We'll be using sling servlets, okay, which can be registered by two ways. We'll see all the ways there. Then the schedulers one, that how to like interact with the schedulers, where scheduler we actually use inside the EM, what are the use cases of schedulers. Okay, to create some jobs we need these schedulers. I will walk you through that how to create those. Then the workflow concept. Workflow is an important one, like for every organization. Whenever you will go for EM, you will find that there are some workflow process is going on the author instance. Okay, so workflows are nothing but it's a set of some rules or it's set of some steps which a organization follow. Like if somebody is approving, like somebody is like uploading some image or doing some manipulation or doing some content changes on some pages, before publishing it, it should be properly reviewed by someone in the organization. So those kind of rules we can create in some step of workflow. Okay, some certain steps we can create inside a workflow. Then we can trigger a workflow rather than activating a page. It will go to my administrator or the approver. He will just review the changes and then he will activate the page. There are out of box workflows as well, but we can create our own one. We'll see that how we can create our own workflows. The process step is there. We can create our own Java files, and we can, there are certain steps or split. I will walk you through all those things inside the workflow. Then the most important thing which I say that is, it is the editable template. Okay, so the same example which I created here, we'll see that how we can create using the editable template. So editable template is like we call it as a dynamic template as well. So right now what is happening, like every organization wants that you should be using the editable template instead of the static templates. Okay, so what happens here, a dynamic connection made between a template and the page. Okay, we'll be having different concept here, like the structure, like initial, like the layout. So what are the different those structure and initial, I will walk you through. We'll create some examples on the editable templates. We'll see that what are the policies, component level policy, template level policy. There is no iBarsis concept inside the editable template. What are the replacement of those things, and how you can create your own types. Okay, when you create a editable template, you would require some editable types. So I will walk you through how you can create your own custom template type, okay, instead of using the out of box HTML5. Then after that, I will walk you through what are the experience fragments, how we can use experience fragment, and like what are the benefits of using experience fragment. One of the benefit of experience fragment in 6.4 that you can easily target those components. Okay, whatever the components you have created and you have made it an experience fragment. If you are connecting with Adobe Target, okay, then you can target specific versions, specific variations of the experience fragment through the Adobe Target to achieve the personalization. Okay, so those kind of stuffs I will show you, not the target because that is a licensed one, but I will show you through some context objects and some other things that will be configuring these experience fragments. We'll be creating some variations as a live copy and other things. We'll cover that part. Then the content fragment, it's a similar to experience fragment in sense that we will be creating the variations and other stuffs, but it's a bit different. We use it as a content as a service in AEM. That's the latest feature. We'll see that how we can create the models inside the content fragments. Okay, then this is again a very important thing, the multi-site management. As an AEM developer, I should be aware that how to create the entire structure of a website from the scratch. Okay, if I deployed on certain project, then definitely I'll be creating some pages and all. But let's suppose you have created your website for a particular locale, like for United States. Now you want to create a separate branch or separate certain pages based on the United States for different locale. Then you should be aware of that, how to use multi-site management concept. What is a site? What is the difference between blueprint and a live copy? Okay, and how to translate. Suppose you are having in the French and you want to translate those French pages in certain different locale for German, then how you will be translating those. So in AEM we are having some translation project concept where we can translate the project. So there is one default translator present, that is a Microsoft translator. In real-time project, we use some different translator like Clay Tablet or like their ADM, or there are multiple translators available. So I will show you through the Microsoft translator that how you can like translate the content here. Like here as well, I translated in some Arabic. So we'll see that process, that how you can achieve the maximum from the multi-site management in your projects. Then the core components, there are definitely certain core components which have been created by the Adobe team. So there is a separate team, they are converting the library components. Okay, there are certain out-of-box component which comes with AEM. Now Adobe is converting those components. They are creating some enhanced components. Okay, those components are the core components. Earlier versions, if I need to create the navigation, primary navigation, I used to write certain piece of code in Java that just lists children, and then I will extract all the information of child pages, and then I will prepare a primary navigation. But now they are coming up with many core components like the navigation, like the breadcrumb, list component, image, enhanced image component. So there are 12 to 13 components have been coming, and they are keep adding those core components. I will walk you through how you can make use of those core components. Then the query builder API, that is an important one. If you want to search functionality in the AEM, if you want to fetch some details from AEM and you want to create some like dynamic component which is taking input from other components, so then in that case you will have to run some queries. Okay, so there are different things inside AEM, like either you will be using query manager API or you will be using the query builder. Okay, we'll see the consoles as well and through the code as well, that how we can effectively use those query builder APIs through predicates. We'll be creating some maps and then we'll be fetching some data from the query result. And at the end, I will show you that how to set up the dispatcher on your local machine, what are the HTTPD dispatcher any files, how we can set up the flush agent on our author instance, and then we'll see that how we can control the cache through the different levels. There are some state files and all. we'll see those stuffs. Okay, so this is the overall agenda of this training, which I'll be covering in the 30 days. Okay, every session would be a 1 hour session. Okay, so guys, I'm pretty much done now. Any query, guys, you can just ask to me about the course content or anything.
Hi Kumar, this is Prabhat.
Yeah, Prabhat.
Yeah, I have a doubt. In this session, will you take me through some migration projects, some kind of migration issues, how precautions to be taken in migration kind of things? Because I was asked a few days back again about it, and I just want to know about it. Is that possible in this course?
If you are having those issues, I can take it like offline. Like if you are facing any issue in the migration, definitely I can take that offline. Like uh, if you are migrating from 5.6 to 6.0, those issues I can take offline.
Thank you.
Let me just see. There is one question. Will able to cover resource merger? Yeah, Raju, we can cover that resource merger as well. Sling resources merger, we can cover that in the Sling. No issues. There are some of the topics which I haven't mentioned here, like the error mechanism, how you will be like tracking the errors and all, because there are a lot of things which I'll be covering, but mainly main topics I have covered here, which are required, because I haven't mentioned here like how you will be debugging inside the EM. Suppose there are some issues comes, then how you will troubleshoot here. So I have to like write somewhere that how troubleshoot if there is some issue, how to run the EM, how to run the Eclipse in the debug mode, or how you troubleshoot, how to put the logger in the debug info one. So those things I will be covering as well. Guys, anyone having any query? And just one more thing, like yeah, tell me.
Yeah, Kumar, this is Anbu. Basically, I have a skill set for HTML, CSS, basically jQuery. Is it enough to
Mhm.
learn AEM
Yeah,
without
definitely.
knowing the
You should be having a bit knowledge on the Java, like not. I would say that you should be able to understand that what is a class and what is the object, how you can create a simple class. If you are good in the CSS and JavaScript, because STL is like front end, you will easily grasp that thing. All you should be aware of a bit of Java, like how to
Hmm.
create the class and how to create the object, and nothing much is required. This is pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Kumar, thank you.
Okay. Guys, any other query? Sorry, Razim, your voice is a bit breaking. Anyone? Any other queries, guys? If not, then we are good to close it. So, like Raju, you are looking for extending console. So that's like I can provide some insight on that after completing of this course or in the mid of the course whenever I feel, because that is not a typical requirement which we get for every project and like the development thing. But I can provide some insight on the extending consoles as well. There are some links which I can share with this requirement, the project specific requirement.
Yeah, Kumar, just one more doubt. So, not like that kind of thing. Will you share all this content, what you're working on is next few days, uh, kind of in a GitHub or something like that in repository, so that will be accessed in like
Yeah,
before
yeah,
midterms.
Yeah, so I'll be sharing like this six. So you are talking about the software 6.4 and the content of like
No, no,
PDF and
no,
all.
I'm not talking about 6.4
Then
instance. I'm talking about the uh, material, like the work we are doing in the next few days. Can we put it all in the GitHub so that
yeah,
can be
definitely.
used later in the work also, right?
Yes, 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 yes. So on the daily basis, I will be will be having one drive. So on the daily basis, because there would be some component HTML, CSS as well, which we'll be utilizing. So on the daily basis, we'll be uploading the content and like the code on the daily basis.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay.
Hi, this
Uh,
is Tarun.
yeah, Tarun.
Yeah, I joined bit late, sorry. And you will explain regarding API also.
Uh, yeah, Sling API and these APIs I will be walk you through like how exactly it
How
works in CD.
yeah, how response will get from API and everything.
Yeah, yeah, correct, correct. I will be, as I mentioned, that I will be using one Moki .io website. Like we can create the JSON there and how to integrate those APIs. I will be walk you through.
Okay, okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi Kumar, Manpreet this side.
Yeah, hi,
Uh,
Manpreet.
we'll be using one author and one published instance in our practical, which you will be
Yeah,
showing.
yeah, yeah. Because
So,
yep, I'll be using one author and one publish and one dispatcher as well. Okay, in the end, we'll see that how to configure the dispatcher.
so we
Okay,
can
but
use
if
many.
your if your RAM is like a bit like 16 GB or something, then you can create more instance of publish, but it's not recommended to have more publish instance on your local. Otherwise, your system very will be very slow.
Okay, okay. Just a general question, like we can use many authors along with many published instances, right?
Normally, we use one author with multiple publish instance, but in some of the cases, we might have the two author instance as well, one fallback instance created using MongoDB and all. Okay, but in normal scenario, we will be using one author and n number of published instances.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Any other query, guys? Shini, are you there? Yes, Raju. I'll be giving you the training license, so it will be like you will be getting 6.4 and 6.3. I'll be giving 6.3 by so that you can install the geometrics website there. So that is only purpose to share the 6.3 so that you can go to the geometrics website if you want to know more about the classic. Okay, guys, just give me a moment. I'm just calling Shini.
Hello, hello. Yeah, Kumar, I'm here.
Okay, Shini, I'm pretty much done. So if you have anything to share, then you can.
Okay, okay. Yeah, guys. You are asking about the recordings and documents, right? So you can able to see my screen now. So like this, every day we will upload into so the session video and also the PDF. And this is the batch over. The last batch total 30 classes happened. So the code will be there here. So everything will be like whatever required things in that session happen, that will be uploaded by Kumar. He will upload into this. About the recordings, I will take care, and material stuff and all Kumar will upload. So this is last batch happened, I think, so for 9 to 10 people, I think. Okay, like this, you will be have the view option. We don't give the download option. You will have the view option for all the stuff. For this material stuff, you will have the download option. For this PDFs or this navigation, for this stuff you will get the download option. For the videos, only the view option will be there.
Okay.
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 every day you will get like this. Like we will maintain one drive, so it will be accessible for lifelong. But don't share with others. If it is shared
Sure,
also,
sure.
it will not be visible to them. We will get the request access. Then who shared that one, their name will be removed from this drive.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Yeah, subject wise, if you have any questions, you can speak. For every batch, we will maintain like the same, sir. This one is November batch, and right now we have other batch. December batch is going up. In that one, total 15 classes happen like this.
Srini, 30 hours is enough to complete the course. Is it any extended kind of thing?
Yeah, yes, sir. That if it is extended means like only 1 hour, it's not closing, no, sir.
Oh, okay, that's
If
why I
it's
asked.
this session actually 6 o'clock India time, 6 o'clock to 7:15, 7:20.
Okay. Okay.
So other batches 7:30 to 9 o'clock, like that. It goes to behind 1 hour every class.
Okay. Okay.
So the trainer prepared the curriculum like that, sir. If it is any extra sessions, he will take at the end.
Okay.
Right, Kumar? My previous batches happened 30 classes only. It's over, sir. Like we done another batch also.
Okay.
This one over for 29 session, 29 and 30. Because this session we taken the 2 hour session.
Oh, okay.
Within 30 the batch is over, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. We will have the day one session tomorrow by the same time.
Sure. Thank you, Srinivas. Thank you.
Thanks all.
Yeah. If you have any other questions, guys. Yeah, Kumar. This Raju is different one. The existing batch
Okay,
Raju is not the same.
okay, fine.
Only Brahma is our old batch student.
Okay,
As he missed a couple of sessions, right? He's not in regular, so you don't ask the questions. He will listen this class. Okay.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Any questions, guys? Others? You can try to WhatsApp me if you have any questions. My WhatsApp number I am pinning here 964237317. In the chart, you have my WhatsApp number. Just again, I'm pinning 964237317. You can call WhatsApp on that number if you have any questions. Thank you, guys. I will wrap up for today.
Thank
We'll meet tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, Kumar.